Imagine being so dominant at a sport that you left champions in the dust. Made teams rethink their entire strategies and forced the rules to change just to keep things fair. This isn't dominance, it's disruption. This is the story of how one man changed a multi-billion-dollar sport at just 17. This is the story of Max Verstappen. Formula One has always been a high-stakes motorsport, where the margins for error are razor thin, where even a small slip-up can cost you your life. Many teams took the approach of minimizing risk. Sure, there were the occasional risky drivers, such as Senna or Schumacher, with their own respective legacies. But on the whole, the approach to racing shifted in the early 2010s. Overtakes became more calculated. Greater emphasis was put on tire and fuel management, and sometimes drivers were being told to hold their position or let teammates pass just for the team's benefit.
So you need to let Lewis buy into turn 13.
This led to the Mercedes era of F1, where Mercedes won every single Constructors' Championship from 2014 to 2020 due to their race management and strategy, with Hamilton winning 6 out of the 7 Drivers' Championships. To put it bluntly, Mercedes was dominating F1, and it wouldn't be easy to stop them. Despite Hamilton and Mercedes being so dominant in the years prior, 2021 was a year of change. But to understand why, we need to go back 6 years. In 2015, Max Verstappen joined Formula One, stepping on more than a few toes. By all metrics, it was an anomaly. At just 17 years old and not even owning a regular driver's license, he was racing side by side next to the best drivers in the world. Most drivers have to climb through F2. Max barely touched F3, then jumped straight into F1 with Toro Rosso, which is essentially Red Bull's junior team. But what stood out most of all was his attitude. He had no filter.
Now, can we just already stop about this? Because we had so many questions about this.
He made it clear he wasn't here to play politics. He was here to win. Entering 2021, at this point Max had been in Formula One for a while, but Red Bull had a card up their sleeve, the RB16B. This car finally gave Max something he'd been missing: consistency. The rear end was changed to be more stable, an improvement from last year's car. The aero package was modified to be more consistent across all tracks. And lastly, the new Honda motor closed the gap to Mercedes in both straight line speed and reliability. Now Max had everything he needed, and he didn't waste a second. He was either getting to pole position or DNFing, no in between, a reflection of his mindset. All in, all the time. If he saw a gap, he went for it, and it shook Mercedes. First at Silverstone, lap 1, Cope's corner. Max leads with Lewis right behind.
They go into Brooklands. Verstappen stays ahead. The crowd roar their approval.
Lewis, feeling the pressure, goes on the inside for a dive. Mid-corner, he taps Verstappen, sending him into the wall at over 100 miles per hour. Hamilton won that race, but for Max, it became personal. At Monza, Max started in P1 but quickly dropped to P2 after being overtaken by Ricciardo. He held his position, still ahead of Lewis, but after a slow pit stop, he emerged at 10th place, far behind Hamilton.
Going on, why is Max Verstappen still stationary?
But they would collide once again, quite literally. As Hamilton was exiting pit lane, he was ahead of Max by half a car length. Going into turn 1, he took the inside. Max took the outside line and fought for the inside of turn 2, but got squeezed wide by Lewis. Verstappen's car launched up after hitting the curb and landed on top of Hamilton's, resulting in a double DNF. Next at Brazil, Hamilton had to take a grid penalty and started 10th, but this didn't stop him. He drove like a man on fire, cutting through the field lap after lap.
Hamilton is up to 7th. We saw him through Ferradura, passing there Pierre Gasly.
Until one car was left, Max Verstappen. They go wheel to wheel down the track. Max pushes him wide off the track, both of them. No penalty, but just a message. Max was not here to play. They go back and forth throughout the season, but it all comes down to the last race, Abu Dhabi, the finale. After 21 races, Max and Lewis were tied on points, and only one of them could come out on top. Hamilton leads nearly the entire race. He controls the pace, manages his gap. Most people think it's over, until it isn't. With just a few laps to go, Nicholas Latifi crashes. The safety car has to come out, and Red Bull rolls the dice. Max pits for some fresh tires.
Box and pit confirm, please, Max. Box, pit confirm.
Mercedes, on the other hand, do not.
So strap mode 1, strap mode 1. Box. Negative.
Leaving them on worn tires. In a controversial call, the lapped cars between Max and Lewis were cleared.
No, Mikey, no, Mikey, that was so not right.
With Max now on new tires, Lewis was exposed.
And Verstappen sets after Hamilton. Is it going to be a first world championship for Verstappen?
And then on turn 5, Max dives.
Far enough back, he's going to make the lunge down the inside. Hamilton sees it coming. It's a late lunge by Verstappen, who takes the lead of the race.
And just like that, Verstappen takes the lead. He crosses the line at just 24 years old, the youngest ever for Red Bull, and became the man who ended the Mercedes dynasty. After his first title in 2021, he went on to dominate 2022 and 2023, winning back-to-back championships. But in 2024, Red Bull didn't take the crown, McLaren did. Despite Max still putting on a show and winning the Drivers' Championship, his team didn't win the Constructors. A reminder that even when his team falters, Max Verstappen doesn't. Because for Max, it was never about playing it safe. It was about pushing limits and rewriting expectations. He redefined what greatness looked like, and that is the story of Max Verstappen.